The Slim Shady EP, released in 1997, was a raw and darkly humorous project that introduced his Slim Shady persona and caught the attention of Dr. Dre, leading to his major label debut. Eminem's debut album, Infinite, was released in 1996. Though it received little commercial success at the time, the album was a crucial stepping stone in Eminem's career, helping him refine his style before breaking through with the Slim Shady LP. The Slim Shady LP is Eminem's breakthrough album, introducing his Slim Shady persona. It features dark humor, shock value, and storytelling. The standard edition released in 1999 with 20 tracks, including skits and the iconic singles. Some explicit lyrics were censored. This is the expanded edition from 2019, released for the 20th anniversary with 10 bonus tracks, including rare freestyles, instrumentals, and the Bad Guys Always Die collab with Dr. Dre. The album sold 283,000 copies in its first week, eventually being certified 4 times platinum by the RIAA. The special edition released in 1999, a limited edition with different cover art, a bonus disc with Get You Mad, and a sticker or alternate packaging. The album won Best Rap Album at the 2000 Grammy Awards and played a crucial role in launching Eminem into mainstream success. The Marshall Mathers LP, released on May 23, 2000, is Eminem's groundbreaking third studio album. The album originally featured Eminem sitting on his childhood home's porch, but an alternate cover was also released, showing him huddled in a corner of a rundown room. This is the one with the alternative cover. This LP cemented Eminem's status as one of the most influential rappers ever. It's known for its dark, raw, and controversial lyrics. This deluxe edition of the Marshall Mathers LP includes bonus tracks like The Kids, expanded artwork, and sometimes exclusive packaging, offering a more complete experience of Eminem's groundbreaking 2000 album. Featuring hits like Stan, The Real Slim Shady, and The Way I Am, the album was a massive success. And now my favorite Eminem album, The Eminem Show. Released on May 26, 2002, is Eminem's 4th studio album and became the best-selling album of that year worldwide, with over 27 million copies sold to date. This is the expanded edition. It was released on May 26, 2022, to celebrate the album's 20th anniversary. The Eminem Show debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 1.3 million copies in its first full week. Next up is 8 Mile. Released on October 29, 2002, features Eminem's iconic hit Lose Yourself, which became the first rap song to win an Academy Award for Best Original Song. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200. Encore was released on November 12, 2004, as Eminem's 5th studio album. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 710,000 copies in its first 3 days, and over 5 million copies in the US. This is the Encore Shady Collector's Edition, was released on December 24, 2004. It includes the standard Encore album, along with a bonus CD featuring unreleased tracks. This edition was released in very limited quantities, making it highly sought after by collectors. Next up is Eminem's first greatest hits album. Curtain Call the Hits was released on December 6, 2005, as it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 441,000 copies in its first week. Here we have the Curtain Call the Hits Deluxe Edition. This includes the standard Greatest Hits album, along with Stan's mixtape, a bonus disc featuring rare and unreleased tracks. Released on December 6, 2005, this edition is a collector's item with exclusive songs and freestyles. Next up is the Re-Up. Eminem Presents The Re-Up was released on December 5, 2006, as a compilation album showcasing Shady Records artists. It debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, selling 309,000 copies in its first week and has sold over 1 million copies in the US. Here we have Relapse. Relapse was released on May 15, 2009, marking Eminem's return after a 4-year hiatus. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 608,000 copies in its first week and has sold over 5 million copies worldwide. Next up is Refill. Released on December 21, 2009. Refill is a reissue of Eminem's Relapse album with additional tracks. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and sold over 100,000 copies in its first week. The album includes hits like Forever and Taking My Ball. Next up is Recovery. Eminem's Recovery album, released on June 18, 2010, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and sold over 741,000 copies in its first week. This is the album with an alternative cover. The album featured hit singles like Not Afraid and Love the Way You Lie, with the latter reaching number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and selling over 12 million copies in the US. The Marshall Mathers LP2 is Eminem's 8th studio album, released on November 5, 2013. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 792,000 copies in its first week. In November 2023, Eminem commemorated the 10th anniversary of the Marshall Mathers LP2 by releasing a special edition featuring 11 bonus tracks, including B-sides and instrumentals. Here we have the Marshall Mathers LP2 Deluxe Edition. It is the expanded version of Eminem's 2013 album, featuring 5 additional tracks, including Baby, Desperation, and Groundhog Day. Next up is Revival. Revival is Eminem's 9th studio album, released on December 15, 2017. It features a mix of political themes, personal struggles, and collaborations with artists like Beyoncé, Ed Sheeran, and Pink. Next up is Kamikaze, one of my favorite Eminem albums. Kamikaze was released on August 31, 2018, as a surprise drop and debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, making it his 9th consecutive chart-topping album. Eminem's album, Music to Be Murdered By, released on January 17, 2020, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, making him the first artist to have 10 consecutive number 1 albums. The album sold 279,000 units in its first week. This is the Music to Be Murdered By Side B Deluxe Edition, released on December 18, 2020, featuring 16 additional tracks. It debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200, pushing the original album back to number 2. Eminem's Music to Be Murdered By Side B Deluxe Black Edition is a reissue of his 2020 album Music to Be Murdered By. It was released on December 18, 2020. The album includes 16 new tracks, making a total of 36 songs. It features collaborations with Dr. Dre, Skylar Grey, and Ty Dolla $ign, among others. Next up, Curtain Call 2. This is a greatest hits album by Eminem, released on August 5, 2022. By the end of 2022, Curtain Call 2 had accumulated nearly 1 billion on-demand audio streams. This is the limited edition box set that includes the Curtain Call 2 CD and a Curtain Call 2 t-shirt. The album showcases songs from Relapse onward, featuring collaborations and soundtrack singles. It includes popular tracks such as Godzilla, Rap God, and Love the Way You Lie Part 2. Here we have Eminem's 12th studio album, The Death of Slim Shady Coup de Grace, released on July 12, 2024. Debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling 281,000 units in its first week. The album's lead single, Houdini, reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. This limited edition CD showcases an exclusive cover art. The artwork depicts Slim Shady wearing a hockey mask, lying in an open coffin, symbolizing the character's end. Next, we have some of Eminem's collaboration CDs and compilation albums. Eminem and his rap group D12 released Devil's Night on June 19, 2001, as their debut studio album. The album was a commercial success, debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200. Eminem and D12 released D12 World on April 27, 2004. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, selling over 544,000 copies in its first week. Shady 15 is a compilation album by Eminem and Shady Records, released on November 24, 2014, to celebrate the label's 15th anniversary. Next up is Bad Meets Evil. Bad Meets Evil is a hip-hop duo consisting of Eminem and Royce da 5'9", and their EP Hell the sequel was released on June 14, 2011. The project debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, selling 171,000 copies in its first week. Eminem executive produced the Southpaw soundtrack, which was released on July 24, 2015. The album features artists like Eminem, 50 Cent, and The Weeknd, with the lead single Phenomenal charting on the Billboard Hot 100. Eminem's The Singles box set, strictly limited edition, was released on December 13, 2003, featuring 12 of his biggest singles on individual CDs with their original B-sides. The number of copies produced was limited, making it relatively rare and valuable in the resale market. The Eminem vs. Jay-Z DLC pack for DJ Hero 2 was released on December 21, 2010, featuring mashups of their hit songs. Physical copies of the DJ Hero 2 bundle that included the exclusive Eminem and Jay-Z 2 CD pack were limited, making them a rare collector's item today.
Thank you!